Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Men of Yoshiwara, Ohgiya. And we finished Utsusemi's route in the last part, but we have to get his normal happy ending. So we go in here and we go to chapter 10, and then we skip through and we just... There we go, that's skipping everything. Okay, so we're gonna skip through everything, and I pulled up the guide so we can pick, the wrong answers or the low answers. So, oh, well, we picked good ones for the last one, so that's good. So I think based on what we picked, we got 87, so we're supposed to pick, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Ohgiya. Oh, come on. Why are you apologizing after I just told you not to say anything? Ohgiya chuckled and looked at Utsusemi. Okay, so now they're not... The two gazed at each other with complex expressions on their faces, but then... Thank you again, Ohgiya. Quiet words finally came out of Utsusemi's mouth. Okay. We might as well read the difference, right? Well, we could have gone up to 90 points, I think. So, I mean, like, I wonder if we had done perfectly. Maybe you can. Maybe 100 isn't the max. You know what I mean? Because we got 87, because I think we got the right answers. So we would have had 87 points. You don't want to go after them? No, everything is over now. He quietly laughed and took my shoulder. Okay. The Courtesan's Journey. Okay, so this is... Yeah, I don't remember what the title of our other chapter was. Oh, Celebrations. Okay, I looked over at the guide. Okay. The sound of birdsong lightly drifted into my ears. What had I been doing? Oh, right. After we saw Ohgiya off, I'd gone back to Ohgiya with Utsusemi. My memory gradually grew clearer, and I slowly opened my eyes. Good morning, Spacey. Oh, Utsusemi. You still dreamin'? Utsusemi smiled brightly as the morning sun shone gently through the window. It looked like he was feeding the sparrows on the roof of the brothel. The small bird sang happily whenever he scattered the rice. Last night, I finally remembered and fixed my messy collar. We had talked together and fallen asleep early, but all I could really remember was our bodies on top of one another. I tried to cover my hot cheeks with my hands, and Utsusemi smiled. It's not like it's the first time this has happened, so... Come over here. The wind feels nice today. Okay, coming. When I got up off the futon, a refreshing breeze blew across my neck. Once I made my way to him, feeling the chill in the air, large arms gently embraced me. You must be a little cold. The sun's just come up. Thank you. It's always warm here in your arms. Oh. I was disgustingly adorable. Like, I love to hold you like this. I was embarrassed by his gentle smile. Looking out at the red light district from his arms, everything looked rather pallid and sad. I thought about the brilliance of night. It was like a completely different world. There's no one out there. I looked at the town, awash in morning dew, and sighed. In a little while, people will start to wake up and be heading home. It's been a while since I've had a morning this relaxing. It is? I'm sorry, I was like, that took me, I'm like, it is? Oh. Yeah, because he said it's been a while. Okay. I don't know why it is took me a long time to process in my brain. I was like, what? Oh my god, wow, I'm not smart. Courtesans must sleep and wake up at the same time as their clients. Hey, you're making that weird face again. Don't worry, I don't think of you as a customer. I can never sleep when I'm with clients. Really? That's surprising. Well, I'm certainly not perfect. But still, women do come here to dream. And knowing it's my duty to show them a good time, I can never let my guard down. That sounds like you. He chuckled and then wore a troubled smile. He suddenly stopped throwing rice. Utsusemi? When I said his name, he narrowed his eyes and looked out over the awakening city. I've always hated mornings. When morning comes, I feel like I awoke from all my dreams along with the rising sun. I forget how to act around women, and I didn't like that. But you're acting just fine today. Really? I brushed his ruddy cheek, and his reddish-brown eyes twinkled. His kind expression softened even more, and he placed his hand on top of mine. You've become really special to me. Now nothing could make me happier than watching the morning sun with you. Hey, Spacey. Suddenly his gaze shifted, and he pushed me down. Utsusemi, what are you doing? What? He laughed cheerfully and put his lips to my ear. Spacey, let's fall asleep again just like this. It's still early. I want to sleep peacefully with you by my side. Sure, fine by me. Good. Good night. His lips gently pecked mine. Sorry. Hey, God, I just got a frog in my throat. And after a while, his breathing started to slow as he fell asleep. Are you really asleep? I lightly touched his lips with my fingers. He smiled like he was being tickled, his eyes still closed. His expression looked very calm and happy. Utsusemi, if you're smiling like that, I guess everything is okay? I whispered those words in my mind and closed my eyes as well. I was soon wrapped in the bliss of sleep. Several days passed. Word got around that the perpetrator of the murder had been caught. Apparently, the criminal was also a member of a Yoshiwara brothel. Thanks to the capture, Utsusemi's procession was able to proceed. And again, you're leaving it open for us to believe that Tokiwa is dead, and I don't like that. Several days later, beautiful cherry blossom petals were falling, just like they had the day of Ohgiya's release. Light pink petals quietly danced against the red sky. Today, Utsusemi would finally get the procession he'd been wishing for. Do we get the CG this time? I mean, we'll get one, but looks like it's starting. Oh, let's get closer. People who had come to visit the red light district began to stir. The faint sound of music floated out from deep within the city. Was Utsusemi inside that crowd of people? My heart was pounding. Just then, make way for Utsusemi! A man appeared with the shout of the procession leader. It's not as glorious as I was expecting. I mean, he still looks great, but I was literally expecting, I wanted to see more of his gorgeous getup. I mean, this is still pretty. Okay. I don't know, I guess I was just expecting, not a as up close shot, but still, at least we got a picture of our procession. That's what I've been waiting for. How sad is that? But he still looks really pretty in this. I really have to say that I feel like I like the CGs so far in this one better. But I don't remember all of the ones from Kikuya. It's not like we just played it. You know what I mean? I forget. But I feel like these ones, I don't know. I think I might like them a little bit better. I don't know. Anyway, it was my beloved Utsusemi. He marched under a paper umbrella, wrapped in an extravagant robe, ever so gracefully. He slowly walked in his high wooden sandals down the twilight street, awash in flower petals. Utsusemi, you look lovely. He somehow seemed very manly, even as he walked so ostentatiously. I could do nothing but gasp. That's how touched I was by the scene unfolding before me. Following behind him were various servants, other courtesans and dancers. He took the fiery gazes of the spectating women without so much as a single wink back. Seeing him so sure, with no regrets, brought hot tears to my eyes. Trying to tame my overflowing emotions, I intently watched the parade. This person is the man that I've fallen in love with. A man who, inside this big pleasure district of Yoshiwara, has sometimes cried, sometimes laughed. A man carrying kindness and tears and even crimes in his heart, but he's still marching ahead. Sorry. That's the kind of man Utsusemi is. Tears spilled from my eyes, encircled by dancing petals. I don't know why I was crying. I didn't know why I was crying. God, I can't read. But I did know that those tears were tears for all the men living in Yoshiwara. They gotta hit you in the feels, don't they? Once that dreamlike time was over, we returned to the brothel and enjoyed a night together, just like a honeymoon. We gently pressed our skin together and joined our bodies in mutual love. The evening slowly wore on. Late that night, I felt a chill and awoke from my light sleep. When I slowly opened my eyes, Utsusemi? He was sitting upright, still holding my hand, looking out the window. I rubbed my eyes and crawled out of the futon. Are you awake? What are you doing up in the middle of the night? The evening cherry blossoms were just so gorgeous tonight. I looked where he was pointing and saw cherry blossoms illuminated by the light of the moon. My dream came true and I'm with the woman I love. I wonder what's going on. I'm just wide awake. Maybe I'm not used to this, being this happy. You say the strangest things sometimes. Utsusemi grimaced as if confused. I can't help but think of happiness as something fleeting. Sorry for saying something like that in front of you. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I know. He smiled gently, but after a few seconds his shoulders started quivering. Did I say something wrong? No, sorry. For some reason I felt better when I heard you say that. He chuckled and pulled me towards him. Spacey. My name, whispered quietly into my ear, sounded so sweet. God, I feel like I got carpal tunnel. Like, what the fuck? My wrist hurts so bad right now. I'm sorry. It's too much mouse clicking, like playing this game too much lately. Oh my God, the snow is piling up out there. Holy shit. Like, oh my God. It doesn't snow in the south very often, so when it does, it's pretty fucking amazing. Like, Jesus. Shit, that's like normal, like, northern snow. It's, I mean, not that much. Like, it's only going to be a couple inches, but still, that's a lot for us, so. State shut down for the next month. Thank you so much. My procession today was just like a dream. I know. I don't think I'll ever forget this night. I should be the one thanking you for letting me witness something so wonderful. He shook his head, smiled sadly, then turned his gaze outside. Sorry to cough again. I don't know why my throat's very phlegmy right now. The night breeze shook the cherry tree branches, and the petals danced in the sky. And the cherry blossoms are so pretty. I'll be stealing someone's heart. Utsusemi, what's wrong? Hearing his sad words, I looked at his face. Sorry, that was kind of random. Whenever I look at the cherry blossoms, they remind me of Kakuto. Really? I think of him as more powerful, not as fleeting as the cherry blossoms. Right, that's not quite what I meant. He looked like he was thinking, then slowly continued speaking. Wherever Kakuto goes, he stands out and gets people's attention, right? I mean, yeah, it's probably the eye patch and the feather boa, but also he's gorgeous. But I mean, the eye patch and the feather boa kind of draw your attention regardless. I used to be jealous of that, the way he had such a presence. No matter how close I get to that man, I can never be like him. Of course not. You're you. But there are good things about you that Kakuto doesn't have too, right? There are? You think so? Yeah. Like the light of the garden lanterns that light up the city and the cherry trees. I pointed to the extravagant lanterns that lit up the branches. You're saying I'm like the light of the lanterns? Yeah, you're always supporting others, lighting their way. It's a wonderful way to live too, don't you think? I don't know. I'm not that reliable. But you light the way for people who are lost in the dark. The light's not so bright, but I prefer lamps like that. When you say it to my face like that, it's kind of embarrassing. The light of a lantern, huh? When I put my hands on his cheeks, his lips curled into a happy smile. I'm the heir of the Somei family. There's nothing I hate more than just blindly following in someone's footsteps. That's why I like people like you. I want to be with you regardless of the dangers. Is that a compliment? I actually love his little embarrassed face, like how he's kind of just like looking away from you and blushing. It's kind of adorable. Yes, I have big expectations for the future. I chose a strong woman to fall in love with. That's right. That's why, whatever path you choose, I'll definitely walk it with you. We looked at each other and smiled. We finally stopped speaking and brought our faces so close our lips might touch. Just then, oh, his gaze left the window and turned to my cheek. A flower petal blowing through the night breeze, lost like a child, came fluttering in. His perfectly clear eyes flickered. What's up, buddy? It's just people making noise. You're fine. Spacey. He scooped up the petal with his fingertip, then drew near to my mouth. They must be putting stuff away in their kitchen. It's just kind of like a lot of noise. Anyway, I'm glad you were the one waiting for me after my procession. Whatever happens, please stay by my side from now on. Yes, I will. Utsuse... The rest of my words melted gently into our kiss. No one saw our light, gentle kisses but the cherry trees. You'd think. And that's sad that that's the happy ending, is like but we don't get, he's not free? Anyway. So now we get the sequel and the date scenario. And I don't think these ones have CGs because they would be in the CG thing, so. Sequel, long ride. Well, that sounds dirty. Sure, it's not what we think, but. I became the head of the household, and Utsusemi joined the Somei family. Okay, so the sequel is for the super happy ending, and the date scenarios after the happy ending, then I'm guessing. I don't really know, but I remember in Kikuya, sometimes it was like, the way it happened, you're like, oh, this seems like it's following a little more after one or the other. You know what I mean? Anyway. The days following were busy with visitors and various legal business. But at last, things settled down. One day, after Utsusemi and I had headed to bed early. So, have you lived in this house since you were little? Utsusemi asked me a question unexpectedly. Why? Because I was raised in the pleasure quarters, you know. As a kid, I always wondered what the people outside the district did for fun. Oh, that's right. I used to play on the cliffs near the edge of the island. But Musashi and Mother would always scold me afterwards. That's surprising. I didn't realize you were so adventurous. Utsusemi, beside me in the futon, laughed aloud. That's not a futon, that's an actual fucking bed, I'm sorry. What's wrong with that? It's not like I'm some secluded noblewoman. But you're a young lady from a good family. Should you really have been doing something so dangerous? But the flowers bloomed on that cliff during this season. It was so pretty. As a kid, in my mind, I just had to go see them. Flowers, huh? Utsusemi murmured, turned over in bed, then softly embraced me. He quietly laughed into my ear, and my already hot skin started to burn with warmth. It sounds really beautiful. I'd like to go see them too. It's not that interesting. That's okay. I still want to see these flowers that you were so fascinated with. Oh yeah, and tomorrow's the weekend anyway. Let's go. Well, I guess I haven't gone out and done anything fun lately. Right? Utsusemi spoke happily and brushed my cheek with his fingertips. Those fingers, unused to hard labor, were covered with scratches. Utsusemi really had been working hard for the household ever since marrying into the family. I nuzzled my face into that beloved hand and looked at his face. If you want to go, then we'll go. You deserve a break after working so hard. You've cut your hand... Oh, you deserve a break after working so hard you've cut your hands up like this. Well, I see the new head of the household is full of surprises. Are you teasing me? Of course not. I just remembered again how much I love you. He kissed my fingertips. We looked at each other and smiled. Then I took his hand and kissed it too. My heart was filled with peace. I can't wait. Me neither. I slowly closed my eyes, wrapped in those warm arms. A familiar scenery appeared in my mind's eye. What would the man I loved think when he saw my old favorite place? Those thoughts went through my mind as I drifted off into a gentle sleep. The next day, we woke up early and had a late breakfast. After I got ready for our excursion and stepped outside the house... Utsusemi, what's that? What? We're going far away, aren't we? For some reason, Utsusemi was already outside, harnessing a horse. He stopped his preparations and stood up. You said you were impressed with my horseback archery, right? So I thought maybe we could ride together. Huh. You don't seem very excited. You don't want to? Horses are for carrying heavy things, not for riding. Oh, girl, I got news for you. I don't even know if I can ride one. At first, Utsusemi looked at me, dumbfounded. But after a few seconds, he held his stomach and laughed aloud. What's so funny? Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. It's just such a sheltered rich girl thing to say that horses aren't meant for riding. Hey, wasn't really that funny. I really am scared. It may not have been anything at all for Utsusemi to ride a horse. You know what I think is funny, though? A sheltered rich girl can't ride a horse. You think they're just for carrying things. You think a sheltered rich girl would be riding the horse instead of, like, walking. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh, I'll walk, it'd be like, oh no, I'm going to ride the horse so I don't have to strain my legs. You think that's what the sheltered rich people would be doing. Versus, no, I walk and my horse carries the luggage. You know what I mean? Like, seems kind of backwards to me. But naturally, I'd never ridden one before in my life. I went up to the horse and timidly held out my hand. No, don't do that, Spacey. Huh? Utsusemi's hand suddenly shot out just as the horse gave a loud neigh and kicked its legs. I'm not... What? What kind of horse is this? Whoa! It's a good thing I noticed. It's dangerous to approach a horse from behind. I was approaching him from his behind. I was like, a horse gonna kick me from the front? They might not look like it, but they're easily startled animals. Really? Yeah, that's why they're difficult to really ride well. But once you connect with them, they almost become a part of you and will obey your hands. I had no idea. My stomach lurched when I realized I had been this close to being kicked in the head. But when I reached down my hand in front of the horse, like Utsusemi told me, it gave my hand a friendly nuzzle. He's really sweet. Yeah, that's proof of how well your family takes care of him. Now then, let's ride. Utsusemi put his foot in the stirrup and very easily mounted the horse. Despite the horse being as tall as he was, he leapt up nimbly. You made that look so easy. But, what about me? As I stood there confused, Utsusemi offered his hand from atop the horse. And take my hand. When you put your foot into the stirrup, I'll pull you up. Are you sure? I won't scare him again? It'll be fine. I know you can do it. Sorry. Okay. When I put my foot in the stirrup like he said, my body was yanked upwards. I shut my eyes, feeling like I was floating. But the next moment, I was in his arms. I felt his chest on my back. My heart started to beat faster from the warmth and the height. Okay, here we go. I wonder if there's bonus scenes like there was in Kukui. We'll have to check that out. I just thought of that. Utsusemi gave the horse a light kick, and the horse slowly began to run. The familiar scenery, the sky, the people, all flew by in a blur. It felt as if we were leaving the past behind, flying together towards an unknown future. Wow, Utsusemi, the house already looks so small. I'm gonna go faster. Ready? Hold on to the reins. Okay. The wind blew through us, but I wasn't the least bit afraid. The man I loved was right behind me. As his hands gripped the reins on either side of my body, it felt a little bit like an embrace. I felt uplifted all the way to the cliff. When we finally arrived at our destination, we heard the noon bell from the faraway town. It really was amazing going so fast. There's like a fucking whirlpool over there. That's the mainland. And this is like fucking... What do we call it again? Shit. Fuck. What? Oh. Oh my god, my brain doesn't work. Oh. You know, when you... Radiation Island, that's what it was. I was like, what's that stuff? And I could see the radiation symbol. I could see all the dangers in my head. And I'm like, what are the... Radiation Island. Yeah. Actually, that swirling mist is Godzilla coming to get us. I mean, Jesus. It's kind of... That's actually a really big, river kind of there. Anyway. So that's what the world looked like when you were doing your archery. You're certainly in a good mood. And that was the first time I'd done anything like that. My heart was still racing, unable to settle down. My spirits were as high as the sky, and I felt like I could do anything. Caught up in the moment, I flopped down onto a bed of flowers. Utsusemi, who had stopped the horse, came over to me, looking troubled. Come on, Spacey. Oh, Miss Masai? Is that our mom? Anyway, Miss Masai would cry if she saw you like this. Or rather, she'd probably whip me. You're right, but this is just so much fun. I feel like I'm a kid again, you know? I looked at the flowers, feeling a sense of nostalgia. Rapeseed flowers. Are they really called rapeseed flowers, or is that a typo? Because I know rapeseed is a type of flower, and it's called something else. I forget what the actual more normal name for it is, because rapeseed just sounds really fucking inappropriate. And that's why I'm wondering, like, did we just make a typo here? And they're like, we can't actually call it that? Like, because you're like, that sounds inappropriate. I'm glad we changed the name on that. I mean, it is. It's some other kind of flower that it has a more common name, but this was like the oldie time name. What is it? Someone will know. Anyway, they're calling it rapeseed flowers. Sure, we'll go with that. Flowers spread all along the cliffs as far as the eye could see. Utsusemi, too, looked out over my beloved scenery. This is a very nice place. But I'm so hungry, I just as soon make a salad out of these flowers as look at them. Seriously? You're so funny. That's so like you to say. Just then his stomach let out a huge growl. What a gross sound. Girl, that's normal. Stop. Come on, don't shame him for his, stomach growling. Don't shame someone for their growly stomach, okay? It's just rude. I can't help it. I told you I'm really hungry. Her laughter rose up to the blue sky, filled with fluttering skylarks. Dude, I'm sorry, it's just... There's gonna be a truck or something outside. It's so loud, but I can almost feel the rumble. It's so weird. It was cheerful laughter befitting of the lovely spring day. We ate the lunches we had brought from home. Then the two of us lay down on the rapeseed flowers. It's still going with that, so I don't know, maybe that's a type of flower that I've never heard of. I don't know. And the sky looks so big. Utsusemi spoke from beside me as I lay picking flowers. You think so? Maybe because there are no clouds today. Bullshit, I see clouds right fucking there. Yeah. It really is a special feeling, lying here looking up at the sky out here, free. And there are no walls or annoying rules out here. Oh, now I see what you meant. His words made me still my hands. Utsusemi then smiled a blissful smile and took my hand along with the flowers still in my grasp. A simple little thing like this, like just going to a cliff where you can see the wide open space. I mean, for anybody, it's not something you normally do. I mean, I guess if it's something you normally do, then it's whatever. But for most people, you live in a city or even you don't just know, I'm just going to go and I'm just going to lay there and look at the sky. And when was the last time you just look cloud gazing with some... You don't do certain things that you think about. You're like, oh, you did them maybe as kids, but you don't really just do them anymore. But doing something like this, you would take for granted if, in his case, he's been in prison and this has got to be the most chill but exhilarating thing. You're just there, you're like, it just stretches so far and I'm not trapped. I don't know. It's got to be kind of an amazing feeling for something that's, in a way, very simple. You know what I mean? Just laying in the grass looking at the sky. You can fucking do that anywhere. There's grass and sky. Just don't do it on the sidewalk or the road. So lay in the grass, even if it's next to a sidewalk. It's weird. But you probably wouldn't because there's probably dog shit there because nobody knows how to clean up after their pets. And then... Man, modern society. Anyway. Utsusemi then smiled a blissful smile and took my hand, along with the flowers still in my grasp. And I got to come see the flowers you said were pretty too. I think this is the happiest I've ever been. He hugged me close, then looked at the rapeseed flowers with a smile. When I was in Yoshiwara, I thought cherry blossoms were the prettiest flower. They are, but I can understand the free ones out in this field in the wide open seem prettier to you because they're not trapped in Yoshiwara like you were. But hearing how much you like these rapeseed flowers, I feel like they're not bad either. Yeah, and these flowers are bright as the sun, kind of like you. Me? Like a rapeseed flower? Not bad. You can eat the stems if you're hungry, and you can get oil from the seeds. Then they're calling it rapeseed, but it's actually the rapeseed, because you can get rapeseed oil. Yeah, so they just typed it, and maybe because whoever was translating it was or maybe it just translates different, but yeah, so that's exactly what they're talking about. I feel like somebody was like, there's no way, the E has to be a typo, it has to be. Or they just didn't really want to put that in there, which I don't blame them, because it could be triggering. Dude, what? I mean, you know that's what the name is. You know what I mean? It's the name of the flower, it's what it is, but at the same time, it's just saying. It makes you think horrible things, so whatever is the other name for them? I don't know. Anyway, All you can think about since we've been here is food. I can't help it. Back in Yoshiwara, aside from training, eating was the only thing I did for fun. Still, it's just funny. Caught up in my amusement, I couldn't stop laughing. Okay then, I'll just have a taste of this too. Huh? A shadow fell over my face, and the next thing I knew, Utsusemi's face was right in front of mine. Utsusemi, my favorite thing to eat isn't any food. It's you. Well, hi. You don't mind, do you? I turned away, feeling shy at his whisper in my ear. Hell no. I could smell the strong scent of grass. His long fingers trailed up my arms and lifted my chin, and then he kissed me. Seriously, you're an impossible man. But I'm the impossible man that you fell in love with, right? Of course. I love you, Utsusemi. Our lips parted once, then came together again. His fingers opened the collar on my chest, and he touched his lips to the marks left from last night's love. Oh. Well, then, as we acted out our feelings of love for one another, this Musashi comes up. Holy shit! Fucking hilarious. Spacey, Utsusemi. We looked into each other's eyes, reaching the depths of our hearts. I want to come here again next year. Then let's make it a promise. Should we kiss to make it official? Yes, a promise sealed with a kiss. I think you sealed that promise with some other things, but I guess that was before the promise happened, though. And so we kissed among the flowers, swearing our oath. With that kiss, I knew we could continue on the path we were on. I knew without a doubt we would move forward together, making new memories along the way. As if the taste of that sentimental promise was a sign, our bodies grew hot from our quiet liaison. I want to see something before we do the date scenario. No, we have prologue, main story, and love. We don't have our other... Wow! I feel a little cheated in this one. Maybe that's why they gave us, like, decent CGs and, like... I mean, the story... Well, I mean, no, because our story still had some drama in Kikuya. We were kidnapped. Like... That's all I really remember. But anyway. But, like... That one had so you had 6 guys, technically, right? Yeah. And then you had that extra bonus. Well, I mean, okay. The Iroha Season 2, you met Azusa, and he was kind of a pain in the fucking ass. And, like, I don't know. I know there were people who really wanted a route with him, but I was like, no thanks. Okay, he was worse than Kagero. So I'm kind of glad that wasn't a route. But, so we had that little side, which wasn't necessary. So I'm not begrudging we don't have that. But we only have 5 guys. Okay, fine. I'm fine with that. We don't need the 6th. But we also don't get the little bonus kind of stories. Now, maybe, I don't know, because I know Kikuya was originally a mobile game. Maybe this one wasn't. Because I'm assuming that those little things... Like, in mobile games, there's always little events, like story events that happen. So I'm assuming that's what some of those were. We're like, oh, it's Valentine's Day, so here's the Valentine's Day scenarios for some of the characters and not all of them. Because, like, maybe all the characters weren't released when they had them out. I don't know. But, I don't know. I just think it's weird that we don't have that in this. I'm slightly disappointed with that. Slightly disappointed. Not gonna lie. But it's alright. It's fine. It just means the game's a little bit shorter than the other one. So anyway, date. Bow and Ghost. Several days had passed since I made my marriage with Utsusemi public. We went to a temple to exchange vows again. Okay, so this one actually seems to follow... It's just, in Kikuya, some of them it was like, oh... Wait, we're not married now. Or in other ones, it was like, oh, we're running a shop, but we weren't doing that in one of our endings. You know what I mean? So it seemed like the sequel and the date sometimes went with one ending or the other, and not both went with the same. But this seems to be they're both going with the super happy ending, which to me makes more sense. The sequel and the date should be after the super happy ending. You know what I mean? Because that's the one you really want to get. But I don't know. Kikuya was a weird little beast. And all right. Anyway, we went to a temple to exchange our vows again. It doesn't like Utsusemi is here yet. Are we too early? Oh well. I sighed and looked around the crowded grounds. Come to think of it. What is it? As I looked at a pile of gravel, a memory came to me. I was just remembering, last time we were here was when we saw him do his horseback archery. Not true. Oh yes, the last time Musashi and I were here was then, but we came here with Utsusemi after that. So no, the last time I was here was not that time. Girl! If Spacey remembers, Spacey should remember, is all I'm saying. Yes, he was very good. What about it? Just as Musashi asked, I'm sorry, were you waiting long? Out of breath Utsusemi appeared from out of the crowd. He had a generous smile on his face, his cheeks flushed. Did you run all the way here? Yes, I saw you and Musashi when I got to the shrine. So I pushed my way through all these people in one go. I wanted to talk to you as soon as possible. Oh, thank you? I'm serious. He struck his chest with his fist with a manly smile. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I'm gonna laugh my ass off at any minute comes up. Yeah, pounds his chest with his fist so manly. It just looks fucking ridiculous. That's not sexy, it's ridiculous. What? Did you not believe me? Or do you not believe me? No, it's just that seeing you now reminds me of the last time we were here. The time before the last time we were here. I was just talking with Musashi about the horseback archery you did here. Oh, right. I remember too. It was literally like a week ago. I'd love to see that again, but it looks like they're not doing it today. Well, it's a religious ritual, so they don't just do it whenever they feel like. But there are all sorts of things at the festival. Let's have a look around. Good idea. In that case, Utsusemi held out his hand. But when he looked back at Musashi, he pulled his hand back. Utsusemi? Sorry, I just thought we could hold hands like husband and wife. But it would probably be rude to give my hand to Musashi's precious lady in front of him. No, I don't mind at all. Musashi looked at us and took a step back. He's like, you actually are husband and wife, though. Musashi's like, don't fucking touch her. And he's like, she's my wife, though. And I've also had sex with her quite a few times. Ah! Musashi. Ah! Doesn't want to hear it. Let's go. Okay. For some reason, my face suddenly felt hot. Trying to ignore it, I walked around the shrine grounds at Utsusemi's side. In the midst of dozens of food stalls, there was a place people were shooting bows and arrows. Is that a target practice game? You interested? Use a toy bow to knock down prizes. Oh, I know. Spacey, do you see anything you want? I looked at the lined-up prizes as people amused themselves with the games. That fox mask is interesting. I pointed to the mask, and Utsusemi went up to the shopkeeper and picked up a bow. If I hit it, be sure to thank me. As Utsusemi pulled back the bowstring, his expression changed. His profile was awe-inspiring as his sharp, narrow eyes gracefully targeted the mask. As I was admiring him, the arrow he fired cleanly hit the mask. Wow. Amazing! The monkey mask next to it fell too! What do they do when that happens? You get both of them, of course. And that's what happens when you've got me to play for you. He gleefully picked up the fallen masks, looking confident. Hey, why don't you try it too, Musashi? Me? Utsusemi made it look so easy, and Musashi fucks up royally, and he's like, oh, don't make him feel bad about himself. Maybe archery was simpler than I thought, girl. But, damn, missed again. This is harder than I thought. Really? I guess Utsusemi's just that good then. I'm confident in my skill when it comes to swordsmanship, but not archery, I suppose. You just have to get the hang of it. Still, that was amazing. Come on, don't praise me too much. You'll give me a big head. That's fine. Go ahead and get a big head if you want. Fine, you win. Come on, let's go look around at the other stalls. Utsusemi grabbed my arm and started running, as if to escape the conversation. His hand was warmer than I thought it would be. It looked like today's festival was going to be a lot of fun. As the three of us went to a variety of stalls, eventually the sun began to set. The sound of bells came from the mountains, and Musashi raised his head. Miss, it's time to go. Could we go to just one more stall? I suppose we have time for one more. In that case, I know just the place. I've saved the best for last. What is it? Utsusemi gave an uncharacteristically menacing smirk, which made me curious. I followed Utsusemi, and we ended up deep inside the shrine to a haunted mansion. It looks scary. You don't like scary things? I've just never been inside one. Well, there's a first time for everything. I'll be waiting for you here. No fair, Musashi. Now how am I going to say I don't want to go? I stopped talking a moment too late. I basically just admitted I was really scared. I really was scared, sorry. As I thought, when I looked over, Utsusemi let out a quick sigh. It's okay. I'll be with you the whole time. If you get scared, just squeeze my hand. Utsusemi wrapped his hand around mine. I'll definitely need to. Don't you dare let go. I won't. Don't worry. So he said, but then what was that smirk on his face? I wasn't amused at being the only one who was afraid, even if it did feel nice to hold his hand. Okay, let's go, Spacey. Oh, okay. And so we left Musashi outside and stepped into the haunted mansion. A chilly air was flowing from somewhere in the gloomy hut. This is basically the room we got kidnapped in, so I like that. He was like, let's go to the haunted mansion. And by haunted mansion, I mean that place you were kidnapped once, so you have traumatic experiences. Also, which one of them was imprisoned here? One of them was imprisoned. Was it Kakeru? Right? Wasn't one of them, like, punished and imprisoned in a room like this? This was the actual backdrop for it, but anyway. But still, a stickly humidity clung to my skin like on a summer's night. Utsusemi. Getting nervous, I clung to Utsusemi's sleeve. I'm here, don't worry. He was composed as ever, a smile on his lips. The old floorboards creaked with a slight delay after each timid step I took. The sound, as if someone were following us, made me feel more and more scared. Just then, what felt like warm breath brushed against my neck. Oh my god! Utsusemi! What's wrong? You look pale. And don't tell me a ghost touched you. Don't be ridiculous. You never know. This is Yoshiwara, after all. The souls of those who tried to run from debt or committed lover's suicide reside here. Stop joking around. Oh? Could it be you really are scared of ghosts? There's no way I'd be walking this close to you if I weren't scared. Utsusemi's eyes widened. Oh, I mean, that was just a figure of speech. Seeing me get flustered, Utsusemi let out a short chuckle, then gently put an arm around my shoulder. Are you less scared now? It'd be so funny if something scared him and he started screaming like a girl. His quietly whispered words sent a chill down my spine. He was right that it made me feel less scared, but I felt just as likely to have a heart attack for a completely different reason. Let's just keep going. All right, if you're sure. But we started to walk, and the further we got, the fewer paper lanterns lit our way. Some bushes, perhaps brought in from outside, cut off our path, and we could hardly see. Just then, a damp breeze settled into my hair. The momentary fright made me let go of Utsusemi's hand. Utsusemi? I couldn't see him, as if I were surrounded by fog. After he told me again and again that he wouldn't let go. I was all alone, and just that thought was enough to fill me with dread. It felt like the temperature had suddenly dropped. I heard sounds coming from somewhere and looked behind me, but there was nothing there. Just then, you're doomed. A moment after I heard a tearful voice. Someone grabbed my shoulders from behind, and I quickly spun around. Ah! Standing behind me was a white ghost creature. I shrieked with terror. Arrgh! For some reason, then there came a loud shriek from the apparition behind me. Wait, hold on. I know that voice. It's me, silly. Look, it's me, Utsusemi. Huh? What I had thought had been the ghost creature pulled away a mask and showed his face. When I looked closer, I saw that the mask in his hands was the fox mask he had won for me earlier. What a fucking dick. Then, the shriek earlier, who was that? That appears to have been this woman here. An employee who was supposed to be playing a ghost. Utsusemi pointed to a ghost figure lying on the floor. Apparently my scream and Utsusemi's disguise had frightened her so much that she fainted. Good job, dickhead! Once we picked up the fallen woman from the floor and brought her out of the mansion. Unbelievable! You said you'd come with me when the whole time you just wanted to scare me. You're just so cute when you're scared. I didn't plan on doing it. You did too. I went in there because I trusted you. Trust gone. Divorced. But thanks to me, you didn't have to get scared by any of the other ghosts in there. That's not the point. Come on, I'm sorry. I was just messing around a little. God, what a dick. You forgive me, right, Spacey? You really were so cute when you were scared. Oh, that makes a big deal. Like, I love the terrified look in your eyes, which is why I beat you. Oh yeah, no, I totally forgive you, because I'm cute when I'm terrified. Like, I mean, I know it's not the same thing, but like, dude, that's some fucked up shit. I thought it stopped snowing, but it didn't. It's just lighter. I'm not falling for that. Aw, when you get mad, you spoil that lovely face of yours. Oh, but you know what? Your usual calm face is pretty, of course. But I feel like there's a certain appeal to your angry face, too. Are you trying to make me even more angry? Of course not. But if you never forgive me, I might be so sad that I come haunt you in your sleep. You most certainly will not. Seeing me lose control and yell, Utsusemi's lips curled up into an amused smile. Oh my god! You were trying to make me get mad! I knew it! That really is cute. Jeez! I give up! I turned away angrily, but he only kept happily laughing. Like, what a dick. But in the end, I couldn't stay mad at that bright laughter for long. Jeez, fine. I'll forgive you this time, but you better not do that ever again. I'll be sure to remember you said that. I walked ahead of Utsusemi as he replied flippantly, hurrying to where Musashi waited. But what would my stubborn bodyguard say when he saw this look on my face? I hid my flushed cheeks behind my hands. Okay. So this is our CG we get to end on. It's pretty. I love it. Anyway, so I liked his route. I mean, we talked about this in the last part, but yeah, it is a little odd that we don't get all the fun little bonusy side things, but I mean, at the same time, whatever. Not a big deal. But yeah, so I don't know who we're gonna do next. I'm leaning toward Ohgiya. We'll see though, because again, like I said, I'm not sure when I'm gonna start recording the next route of this. And if I haven't started by the time you guys start seeing these, and you guys leave like feedback on who you want to see next, I might do that. Ohgiya, I do want to do either next or at least have him be the third one, the one in the middle, just to kind of, like we did that with Kageru, kind of get him out of the way. You know what I mean? I don't want him to be the last one, because I definitely want Kakuto to be the last one, because he's my favorite. So we have to save our favorite for last, you know, and at least in this game we can play our favorite last, because we kind of had to play Hayabusa last in Kikuya. So, you know, I mean, I guess we really, actually I think we did. I think he was, no, he might not have been locked, but he was supposed to be the secret, like, kind of canon-y route, I guess, but I don't think there is one in this. But anyway, I mean, I guess maybe not canon route, you know what I mean? But it was just he was our childhood best friend, and so, but anyway, we don't have one of those here. Yeah, I don't know, so we'll see what happens. So yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say about that. So I hope you're enjoying this. I love these games, I really do. And yeah, they go by pretty fast, so I like that. So it's kind of quick. It's not, oh my god, we're still in the like there are some games that I absolutely love, and I love playing them, but there is a point where you're like, okay, it's been 80 fucking hours. Are we done yet? it's almost too long. Like, I feel like this is at least a good length. You know what I mean? You can get through 2 chapters in an hour. You know, like 5, 6 parts with the endings. That's not that bad. Like, I'm fine with the 5 or 6 hours. Because I just feel like if we were like 6 hours in and we're like, okay, so we're only in chapter 3, it'd be like, oh my fucking god, too much. And I don't know. I guess it really just depends on the game. You know? There are some that are super long that don't bother me, and then there are other ones that it's like, oh my god, this is just so... It's not like it's a slog. Like, there are some that are slogs. Don't get me wrong. We did that with, Office Lovers. That was a slog to get through. That was like, oh my god, this is too long and painful. Those ones I'm happier when they're shorter. Dogonzaka Labs games, they're either good or they're a slog. I don't know. But, I mean, this is a good pace. It's relatively short. It goes by pretty easy. It's not too painful to read. And, you know, they're fun. They're nice. I like them. So, but yeah, I just know that there are other games that are just like, oh my god, is this game still going on? Holy shit, can it be over yet? I'm glad this isn't one of those though, but... Well, there's even games that I've liked. Like, I love this game, but it's a little too long. like, why are we still talking? Like, I don't know, but yeah, so anyway, I don't know who we're doing next. You'll see, it'll be a surprise, not tomorrow, but the day after. Woo! And we'll see you when I start recording it, because I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.